Emotions are a central and integral part of our own humanity. What would we be without them? We as people experience multiple emotions on a constant basis throughout our everyday lives. Love, happiness, fear, grief, and sadness. Oh wait, I also forgot anger. Anger, out of all of our emotions, can be, and usually is, the most destructive. It can hurt ourselves and the people that we love and hold dear to. And once the smoke has settled, we can clearly see the damage that our wrath can inflict in our own lives. I think we can all agree on that. I also believe that we can all agree that the Incredible Hulk is the greatest personification of anger and a character of our time. His compelling story has resonated with millions across the world over several generations, including myself, since his inception in 1962. So with this being the case, what makes Hulk so endearing and incredible to all of us? I believe it's more so than just the big raging monster we see on the surface. It's very clear on a surface-level examination that Bruce Banner was born into a harsh environment from the get-go. In his early childhood, he was exposed to abuse from his own father on a constant basis, so much to the point where after making an attempt to escape from the constant torment, Bruce's mother finally stood up and tried to end this vicious cycle. Unfortunately, the result ended up with Bruce's father murdering Bruce's mother right in front of him. These events in Bruce's early childhood would cultivate a deep-seated feeling of rage, for very obvious and justifiable reasons. But unfortunately, the effect of this would eventually lead to the creation of something monstrous and destructive within Bruce's own psyche, dissociative identity disorder, better known as DID. You've seen this in movies such as Split and Fight Club, just to name a few. This new personality of Bruce's was a coping mechanism from all the sorrow and pain he had gone through as a child, seeing his mother murdered right in front of him, along with all of the abuse from his father. Rage personified. Many years had passed since then, from all the abuse, all the sadness, all of the trauma. At this point, Bruce had become a leading genius in nuclear physics, working for the State Defense Department, and also meeting the love of his life, Betty Ross. Things seemed to be going well for Bruce up until that moment. While in the midst of an experiment with gamma radiation, Bruce was exposed to deadly doses of this radiation that, quite frankly, should have been the end of him. Instead of Bruce Banner dying an excruciating death, the monster within Bruce, hiding for so long, emerged to what we all know now as the Incredible Hulk. Wrath personified had reared its ugly head after many decades of repression. The Hulk's unbridled rage went on to destroy, and destroy, leaving a path of destruction everywhere he went. With this repressed monster out on the loose, Bruce's life took a nosedive, having the entirety of the United States military on his trail. Keep in mind, the most powerful military on planet Earth. Obviously with this, Bruce would not be able to get a moment of actual peace in his life. Seeing this all unfold, the Hulk became a living nightmare for Bruce, a constant burden on his shoulder that he needed to lock away forever. The irony of this is that this is exactly what caused Hulk to emerge in the first place. When we hold in our anger, it is akin to a container filling up with water at a constant rate. The water slowly building itself up, but at some point, the water overflows outside the container due to it not being properly used. Bruce, in his attempt to solve his problems by holding all of this pain, holding it all within, made his life all the more miserable. I truly believe that many of you, including myself, can relate on a personal level to this in some way, shape, or form. The Hulk, like our own anger, can either be directed towards a great cause or a selfish and evil cause. Now, due to Bruce's insecurities and attempt to subdue the Hulk and try not to use him whatsoever, when he did appear, it only caused destruction to the people he cared about. But over time, Bruce realized that the Hulk can be used as a force for good, a force to stop evil, in many such cases stopping it dead in its tracks.
It has to be me. You have to take me back there.
What are you saying? You think you can control it?
No, not control it, but I don't know, maybe aim it.
And what if you can't?
We made this thing. All of us. Please.
Learning not to hold all of this guilt, anger, and bitterness inside would ultimately make Bruce a better person and make the Hulk a useful tool in his arsenal. Through this newfound use of the Hulk, Bruce would eventually become a member of Earth's mightiest heroes, the Avengers. Because the Hulk's existence was never inherently a bad thing, his anger can be used for a righteous cause. Truly, if we make an attempt to try to fill our desires, especially anger, with temporary and selfish actions, we cease to remember what is actually just and morally right. When an injustice or tragedy happens, that burning flame inside of us knows intuitively that what is happening is wrong and should be dealt with. But we will only be able to obtain the best result by learning to control our anger, harnessing it so that it can be used for virtue, not vice. This is the way.